Hello, hello, hello. No, I am not always late, just most of the time. Good to see you all. Hopefully, you can actually hear me. I didn't check to make sure my microphone was working. Just had an impromptu, very short for me stream over on Shiz's channel, and two of my fellow beardsmen showed up. And of course, we did what beardsmen do best, and we mocked the ever living shit out of each other instantly. It was great. Don't try me with that bullshit. I know I'm not muted. Good try. Good try. Tiki says, I watched Dan's stream for what it was. ID did not dox his son in his streams. I don't know about the chat, but ID certainly didn't. What is it? ID certainly didn't, as Dan claims. All the receipts so far are one-sided. Well, there's some receipts coming right now, madam. There's some. Who's that? It was nice to see the three of you together again. Oh, you couldn't fucking grace us with your presence. Is that it? Huh. I see. I get what it's all about. Yeah, you're too good for us. Whatever. Welsh News Now and Later says, Demon said he would be a few minutes late. Something about rubbing one out real quick. No, sir, you misheard me. I was running a little bit late because I had to masticate my food. Look it up, you dirty-minded people. All right, let's have a look here. Lindy Lou, great to see you. I'm sure you'll be reading this back later. She's not watching live, so I can say whatever I want. But no, I love Lindy Lou. Lindy Lou for $5 says, sorry, we'll have to be Team Rewatch. Cheers to everybody. Great to see you out there in Strayaland. And Mr. Landfill says, I heard Glenn went to break Chili out of jail. Come on, man. The only thing Glenn can break is sweat, wind, and Birkenstocks. Fucking, what? How is he going to break anyone out of jail? Fucking going in there like undercover with his, all head to toe black, like being gently lowered down from the ceiling by a massive crane. Fucking meal team 6. Come on. Like, what use is he to Chili? He's about as much use to Chili as Chili is to normal people. Or actually, no, none of those people are normal, to be fair. Yeah, yes, exactly. Masticate. I've seen Hugh G reaction lately. I haven't. No, I'm afraid I haven't. Yeah, Glenn will sweep the whole jail's leg. I'll go sweep his nasty ass. Yeah, meal team 6. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, so what a fucking day. What a day it's been. I'm telling you, Chloe's watching right now. We've been in the same house all day and we've probably seen each other twice because it's just been so busy. My phone has been absolutely off the hook all day long with what's been going on. Oh, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. I'm calling, bitch. And I did some calling today. Hiccup. G Martin, good to see you. Oh, no. Yeah, I just got back in again. Phone's been absolutely buzzing. This is the most I've seen your face. I'm like 5 feet away. Yeah, and that's pretty much the most we've seen each other's. I can't see your face, so the most you've seen mine anyway. So, Dan. You really fucked it up today, bud. Surprise. So you might be wondering about the title of this video. So, as Dan was sitting in his little lightly semen-smeared room today, plotting how he was going to deal with all this, he did exactly what I thought he would. He did one of two things that I thought he would do. I thought he would either quadruple down and start pointing fingers. He did kind of do that. And the other thing that I thought he would do is exactly this, that he was like, my legal team has instructed me to shut the fuck up. Probably not a bad idea, to be quite honest with you. Now, a couple of things I wanted to say first, right? First of all, for the people that surround Dan, give him a break, all right? Obviously, all the information has not been put out yet, as you well know. And there's a very good reason for it. Please trust the process. You guys watching right now, you know me well enough at this stage to know that when I come hard, and I bring all of the evidence with me. It doesn't mean that you're going to get it all in one go, but I will eventually get it all out. Phrasing. Wrangler's family dropped some truth. Oh shit. Dan and Kaiser are twins. Well, funny you mentioned that because Dan's brother got in contact with me. Oh, yeah. So Chloe has decided that from now on, we are to refer to Dan only by his middle name, Meredith. So Meredith's brother reached out to me today, and we had a really interesting conversation. So much so that I am going to be going back over to Wales and going to be having a very interesting sit down with quite a few people. And it's, you went too far, Dan. I warned you, did I not, sir? See, the problem is with people like him, he's so used to sitting there bullshitting his way through live streams, bullshitting nonstop, that he thinks that that's what the rest of us do. Oh, yeah, I've got an informant in the FBI. No, you fucking don't. We all know you don't. Oh, I was in the Navy. No, you fucking weren't, were you? And I know for a fact now, absolute, irrefutable fact that you were not in the Navy. So, yeah. I mean, you might be up shit creek without a paddle. That's kind of a boat. Doesn't mean you're in the fucking Navy, does it? Me putting this hat on makes me more in the Navy than you ever were, for fuck's sake. So anyway, he's so used to sitting there talking absolute cock all day long, making these veiled kind of, well, maybe I know something. You don't know shit, sir. You don't know shit. So he assumes that we're all the same. He assumes, we're not so different, you and I. No, we're very fucking different. Because when I come hard. I bring all the facts. By the way, I know you're watching right now, Dan. I've been told. So welcome. What the fuck was that? Is that a fly or a bat? Holy shit. Anyway, so we got a load of shit to have a look at here tonight. It's going to be great. Steve Cousins is watching from New Zealand, Bray. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing really well. So he was never in the Navy. All right. He wasn't in fucking Kosovo. He wasn't in the Navy. Absolute bullshit. Where he got that veterans card from, I do not know. But alas, here we are. He was not in the Navy. Absolute bullshit. Real quick, Demon's Sister for $5 says, I'm so sorry the comma and apostrophe keys on your keyboard are missing. You know how I feel about punctuation, brother. And I'm going to do it on purpose now. You know that. I fucking got it. Like a ninja, man. Like a fucking ninja. So yesterday when I was in Wales, I didn't got it. He got away. That's a strong fly. See, that time of year now, isn't it? Yesterday when I was in Wales, every time, like, I washed my hands about 20 times. Every time I looked down, they were filthy again. Like, under my nails and all over my hands was just, like, dark. It looked like I was fixing a car or a bike or something. I was like, the fuck is this? Like, every time. Turns out it was the inside of the pockets of my jeans that was the problem, because I had just dyed my jeans and I didn't rinse them out enough. So I felt like you all needed to know that. I'm not really sure why, but I always bring the receipts. I say I might not give them all in one go. There's a very good reason for it, especially when you're dealing with a slippery shithead like him, because he's done exactly what I thought he did. He doubled down last night with this bullshit story about how, oh, well, my thing definitely got overturned because I wouldn't have been able to run for the election otherwise. Okay, we got people looking into that right now. So we'll see how that turns out for you, won't we, bud? Anyway, we may as well have a look at what he had to say today. That song was actually lovely. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what anybody's here for. Now, there's a few things to talk about here. God, all fucking mighty. 7 minutes, and most of it is this fucking bloke. Not that he's a bad guy. I'm sure he's a lovely dude. All right, here we go.
Good evening, all. Yes, not my usual flamboyant, boisterous entrance. It has been a very, very long day.
Oh, I bet it has. Flamboyant, boisterous. Jesus Christ, man. This fella has all the personality of a fucking day-old cold bowl of Weetabix.
And this will not be our usual show.
Not for a while, yeah.
As you may have noticed, there is only me here. That's because I wanted to do this alone.
You're gonna have to start getting used to that, I'm afraid. I bet you.
As it should be. I am going to read out a statement.
Actually, real quick, just on that point, right? So when he talks about being on his own,
as it should be.
Hold on, it's important.
Show. As you may have noticed, there is only me here. That's because I wanted to do this alone. As it should be.
Okay, so on that point, why was it then that yesterday, when all of this broke, you were more than happy for your kind of inner circle there to sit there and take dog's abuse in the side chat for a few hours at least? And you were willing to let them take the flak for you, human shields. And you were nowhere to be seen. If that was me, I'd be like, right, okay, you guys, you head off. I'll fucking deal with this. It's my shit to deal with. Nah, you let them take the flak for you, using and abusing as you always do. And we're about to find out a lot more about that from your brother. And now people can say the usual shit. Oh, they're fake screenshots. They're fake screenshots. Oh, no, they're fucking not. No, they are not. And tomorrow, he's going to be heading down to Dan's dad's house. He was meant to anyway. The whole family are aware of it, from what I can tell. And yeah, we're going to get a sit down, the whole lot of us. Oh, man. And the funny thing, I didn't even really ask for it either. It was kind of like, yeah, I'll go talk to his dad and tell him what's fucking happening. So yeah, so I got to try get my ass back over to Wales in the coming days. I'm going to try and go over in my own car though. Get the ferry over to Holyhead and drive over there. It's just a bit easier. Yeah. Do you know, DCW, I hear where you're coming from, all right? The fact of the matter is, and you have to bear in mind, is we see this kind of shit all the time. People get dragged in, they believe what they're told, and it can be hard to walk away from a situation like that until somebody comes forward with the evidence. And you can kind of say, be a critical thinker and everything. I'm with you on that. That's absolutely true. But at the same time, just bear in mind, it's not always that easy for people. It's not always that easy. Will they let you sail the ferry? Well, I mean, by Dan standards, I can just claim whatever I want. So I am now a Commodore. Commodore Demon. Anyway, so let's play this shit on.
I am going to read out a statement, and then that's it. This show is not gonna cover anything else, just that. Good evening, all. I would like to read the following statement on advice of legal counsel and NWP. I will not be taking any questions.
NWP is North Wales Police. I can guarantee you right now, this asshat did not go to the cops with any of this shit. I guarantee you. Because he knows what I know. Right? He knows exactly what I know. And he knows that what I'm saying is not bullshit. And so do a lot of other people. And I know people question it and all the rest of it. He knows what I know. And that's why I know for a fact he didn't go to the cops. Not to mention I didn't do anything that would warrant that anyway. So no big deal. Oh, man. This is going to end horribly. Like his whole community, the town he lives in, every single person knows what's going on. Like there's not a lot of people in that town. And they all know.
The recent allegations against myself by another YouTuber are in fact not true. Some of the sources...
Remember that. Keep that in your head forevermore. The allegations he states are not true. Okay? The allegation that he was never in the Navy is not true. The allegation that he doesn't live in Kimnall Hall or Kim, whatever the fuck it's called, Hall, that's also not true. The allegation that he got his conviction overturned on appeal is also not true. Basically all the allegations are untrue. That's what he's saying here. So let's see what else he's got to say. Just remember
of
that.
these allegations are a former partner of mine who the YouTuber identified as.
Sorry, let me.
Some of the sources of these allegations are a former partner of mine who the YouTuber identified as CD. CD has a long criminal history, including a police caution for domestic violence against myself, and was ruled an unreliable witness in a case against me.
She was ruled an unreliable witness in the case against you, and I'll tell you exactly why she was ruled an unreliable witness in the case against you. It's because you used the stolen money to buy her things. So, of course, she would be considered a witness that wouldn't be appropriate in that scenario now, would she? Especially considering at the time she was still your girlfriend. As for allegations from her, I don't believe there was any, other than just some shit talk or whatever. But that's nothing compared to the other shit. But anyway, moving on.
Her and her family have threatened, attacked, and harassed me in the past, as well as being violent towards my son. The counsellor he speaks of appears to be a counsellor who was punished for bullying, harassing an elderly member of council staff.
You have no idea what counsellor I spoke to, especially considering it's a brand new counsellor. So I'm not sure how that would work. I never named the counsellor. I didn't even really go into any detail about what I spoke to the counsellor about. So I'm not really sure how you could know what counsellor it was I spoke to.
Along with the violations of GDPR, on the advice of legal counsel and NWP, I will no longer be publicly addressing the claims of this YouTuber.
So what he's saying there is, so apparently there's a breach of GDPR.
Councillor who was punished for bullying, harassing an elderly member of council staff, along with the violations of GDPR, on the advice of legal counsel and NWP, I will no longer be publicly addressing the claims of this YouTuber, nor will I have any contact with this individual or those associated with him after the doxing of my son's full name yesterday night / early hours of this morning.
That's a dirty fucking tactic. We all know that. We can see right through that. Let's be fucking real. All of you watching right now know what I'm like. You know what I'm about. Make up your own fucking mind on that one. This is a tactic. Dan won't talk to me. Dan won't address me. Dan won't be questioned by me because he knows exactly what the fuck will happen. He knows exactly what will happen. And what will happen is what happened to Mandy times 10 or times 100, to be quite honest with you. He thought I was full of shit and hot air just like he is. But I knocked on his damn door in a different country. I called him out live and I showed everybody that he's a fucking liar. And again, it is the tip of the iceberg. He waited and waited and waited to see how I would respond to his live stream last night. And when he realized, oh shit, he's got me, that's when he ducked down and went for cover. It's exactly what this is. I would put money on it that that's what this is. He watched my response last night. I know for a fact he did. Even he goes, I don't actually watch his stuff. Get the fuck out of here. We all know you did. You watched what I said last night. You thought, uh-oh, he's got me, because I slipped a few little hidden messages in there that a lot of you folks wouldn't have picked up on, that only me and Dan would know. Not right, bud? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I was crystal clear on that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you proved me right. You proved to everybody with this piece of shit response that I was right. So thank you. I fucking knew that those little tiny pieces of information that I put in there that only you would have picked up on was enough for you to go, uh-oh, he actually does know what he's talking about, and I'm fucked. Oh, I'll never let you guys down. There's no way that I was coming at this fella without proof, because he's the slippiest motherfucker I've ever seen. Not so slippy, though, because I was able to catch him and get everything that I needed. Anyway. G. Martin, thank you so much. It feels good to be back. It really does. And I'm glad that it's at this asshole, to be honest with you. I am. I haven't trusted this fucker since I met him. And your €100 super chats or whatever, that's not going to buy me, Dan. You can't fucking buy me. The few €100 super chats that you sent over the last year barely paid for my trip over to do what I did yesterday. And that's good enough for me. Thank you so much for paying for my trip over the past 6 months for me to go over and do this shit. Went to Kimnall Hall, never fucking heard of you. Spoke to a lot of people. Oh, they heard of you. They recognized you straight away, didn't they? And you know the people I'm talking about, so you may as well just accept it. Absolutely right. Tiki, I absolutely didn't. I actually could not tell you that lad's name. I do not know his name. So, yeah. And even if I did, why would you guys know what I'm like? I don't go after people's family. I don't. He does plenty. He does plenty. I that's all I need is go after him. So yeah. Anyway, that part is just it's another fucking tactic. This is what he does. It probably actually is stolen euros. That's actually a very good point. Especially with everything I'm seeing. But yeah. And the other thing, like mentioning his son and everything, like in all fairness, you'd say something if it was like somebody's little kid or whatever. That's fucking doxing anybody that doesn't deserve that kind of thing. It's not good. It's not fucking good. Who did it then, Virgorath? Do you know what I mean? Like, who did it? You can just tell us, and we can look at it. It certainly wasn't me. Doesn't need to be. I don't need to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I dox his adult son who has nothing to do with this? Or why would I do that anyway? Like, I don't need to. I knocked on his fucking door. Why would I need to go doing that kind of shit? There's no need for it. It's just that they do this thing and then try to make you look like an asshole. It's like, dude, look who you're talking to here. Like, everybody that knows me knows that that's bullshit. So why even bother? Why even go there? With all the shit that you know that I have on you and all of the shit that's coming, and you think that kind of stuff is going to stick? Eat my ass, basically. Eat my ass. All right, let's continue on here. There's not a whole lot left in this. Didn't last very long. Doesn't take long to run away from something like this, but I'll catch up with you. That's the thing. That's not a threat either. I'm going to tell the truth and show everybody what you've done, is what I mean by that statement. All right. Let's
I'm sorry if this action upsets some of you, but I must do what is right and best for myself and my family. If you feel you no longer want to be a part of this channel or this community, I completely understand and I respect your choice and wish you all the best.
If you actually wished people all the best, if you actually cared about your fellow panel members and you cared about your family, which I'm about to show you absolutely fucking don't, then you would face this and deal with it, and you wouldn't be putting them all through this kind of shit again, according to your family. People are saying that his son wasn't doxed in the side chat. Here's the thing, right? He may well have been. He may well have been. And if he was, that's fucking awful. It shouldn't happen. It absolutely should not happen. But I'm going to give you an example here, right? So imagine, if you will, I'm doing a live stream right now and I'm defending myself against somebody, and I want to make people look really, really bad. Okay? So Shiz is coming at me because she doesn't like how I masticate duck, right? And I'm here and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 like, yeah. Now imagine, if you will, that what I'm about to put up on the side chat here, it doesn't have my channel name in it. Imagine it's just a made up name, right? You're watching. So anyway, she said this thing and it's absolutely awful. And oh, how the fuck could you say such a terrible thing? There's oh my God, look, somebody doxed my son in the side chat. See how easy that is? Oh, that's it. I'm not talking with these people when they do things like this. Oh, there's no way I'm doing that. No way. No, if they're going to do things like that, I'm not even going to address it. They don't deserve my response. See how fucking easy that is? That's what this is. It's a tactic. It is a tactic. And his Willie is a tic tac, so I'm told. That was purely for my own personal pleasure saying that. Anyway, I'll read out these super chats. Yeah, I have to go back to Wales now again. Not that I have a problem. It's a fucking beautiful country. And the village he lives in, glorious. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the people are so lovely there. They really, really are. PhD Tony for $5 straight says, this is all an elaborate rise. Hollyhead is clearly the title of the porno you're doing voiceovers for. Hollyhead and the multiple pricks. Holly has pricks on it. Salacious, good to see you for $10. Says for the gasoline petrol fund for the trip. Thank you so much. Yeah, I would rather take my car. It's significantly more expensive. It's about 4 or 5 times as much money, but it just allows for me to get around and do all the things I need to do. So that's why I want to take my own car. Really, I don't know if it's that much more. It's about, I think it works out about 400. And I literally will sleep in the car. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's so totally worth it. Especially when you see what I'm about to read out to you now. You'll see why I want to spend that extra money and do it. Anyway, Hellson says, this aggravates me to know, and I loved Welsh News Network, yet I'm a vet who cannot stand stolen valor. Thanks, Stephen, because I do trust you after the years watching. Fuck Dan. Thank you so much indeed. And I am sorry. It definitely sucks for people who fall foul of this kind of thing. Like, I totally get it. And I don't blame anybody. And I learned some lessons from the Miss Mandy fiasco when people had nowhere to go after it. It sucked. So, anybody's welcome here. Anytime, anybody. Say what you like in my side chat as long as you're not an absolute dick and get me in trouble. And argue with each other. Simple as that. Anyway, so AJ for $2 says, on legal advice, aka advice of chili, aka if I tell him it's legal advice, then if anybody questions it or why I've done it, I'll be like, well, my legal advice is to not say anything. Yeah, I'm sure a lawyer will tell you, hey, you know what you should do? You should probably shut the fuck up. That's what you should do right now. That's exactly. Now, I'm saying you shouldn't. I'm saying you should spill everything because it's fucking great. But a lawyer probably would tell you to shut the fuck up. Because there's no getting out of this one, I'm afraid. You're not going to weasel your way out of this. Nobody for $5 says, thank you so much for exposing this liar. Do you know what? I will say, now I've done a ton of work on this thing. I've gone balls deep into this investigation. Like, you have no idea. I worked harder on this than probably anything I've ever worked on in my life, other than getting the affection of my beloved. But other than that, this is the hardest fucking work I've done on literally anything. Although I had to work pretty hard on that duck earlier. Got a bit chewy. But other than that, this is the one. So I went ham on this one. And without quite a few people, but specifically one I can't name, but Johnny O from the plot hole. Like, I'd be sitting here masticating Chinese food right now, not knowing about any of this stuff, because Johnny O brought this to my attention. And he was like, I'm going to tell you this, but for the love of God, take it easy. Because you know me, I come hard. I can't help it. You get me going, I come hard. Not necessarily fast, but hard. So anyway, and that's what I did. And I used all of my various skills to get every piece of information that I wanted. And I got it all. And I got way more than I wanted. Some things I was like, okay, I can see why you might want to tell me that, but that is fucking gross. And I could have done without knowing about his anatomy or that kind of stuff. Johnny's going to offer up his position very soon. I've seen the video of that before over on Bronley Fans. And yeah, exactly. It's quite something. It's quite something. Exactly. So Hellson says, and I wondered why he didn't want to talk about Wrangler. You know why? Because he's not going to try to draw attention to the fact that he's doing the same shit without the murdering. But he's doing exactly the same thing, right? He's using a long military service with a bit of action sprinkled in to, I don't know, make himself look good, feel good. I really don't know. But yeah, that's why he didn't go ham on that side of it. Diarmid feckin' Costello for €10 says a little help to get over. It's not cheap. You damn right it's not. You know what? The flights are dirt cheap. Dirt fucking cheap. 40 quid a head. I think it costs €80. So plus we paid to pick seats next together because Chloe's a really bad flyer. Really bad. 80 quid and you're in Manchester. But then you have to get from Manchester 2.5 hours down to where he is. See what I mean? So it's kind of it is a lot, but it was so worth it. I would do it 100 times over. Fucking great time. If not, even whatever about turning up there. I got to meet my buddy Stephen in the flesh, which was fucking awesome. I love that guy. I met an awesome new friend on the road. I was already a friend, but now even more so on the road. We got to see Wales. It was beautiful. We had a fucking great time, and the people were absolutely lovely there. It was the longest day of my life, but it was great. Demon's sister for $5 says, is anyone else picturing the townspeople as a mob with pitchforks and torches headed towards his estate? I hope not. I wouldn't want to see that happening. But to be honest, from speaking to the people and spending a bit of time around them yesterday, they're very like chill, lovely people in that town. And when like they would mention it, and let's say the other lady next to her probably, and it's mostly elderly people in that town, and the other person next to them might not have actually heard of this situation before, and they kind of go, really? Is that what he's been doing? That's not very nice, is it? That's kind of more their level of aggression there, but no, people are pissed. People are pissed because grandparents are going to their grandkids and saying, hey, check out this YouTube video. Probably not in those words, but you know, a man on the YouTube made a video, and they go and they have a look and they go, what the fuck? And the amount of messages that I've been getting from people's grandkids. I say grandkids, that's people like my age. They're like, fuck, tell me more. I'm like, don't worry, it's a coming, as the actress said to the bishop. A lot of people have been informed, and some shit is getting done about scamming old ladies. Come on, man. Around Christmas time, I got the full backstory of the whole meat situation. Stay away from Dan's meat is all I can say. Taking money from old ladies to provide them with turkeys and hams coming up to Christmas, right? Hundreds of fucking quid. And then it never happens. This is in his own housing estate. And as soon as one or two of them question it, this is what I'm told, he threatens to get their benefits cut off using his connections. Where have we heard that? Multiple times before. One of his ex-girlfriend's friends said it to me. Oh, he got my face and said he was going to use his people to get my benefits cut off. We all know where else that came up from before. And then a random old lady, no, not an old lady, an aged lady. She was absolutely hilarious. She was so funny. She was so sweet. That's the one who told me to have the Welsh rarebit. But anyway, she was like, oh, you know, he threatened to have my benefits cut off. So I was like, oh, you know, why didn't you feel the need to tell anybody? And she was like, oh, I really wanted to, but he threatened to have my benefits cut off. And then when I told other people, they were all afraid of him. Like, that little fucking twat. I'm like, I'll fucking stand right here and you go off and tell who you got to tell. I'll protect you and your benefits. John Clark for £10 says, have a beer on me in Wales, a.k.a. Chili's blow-up doll. Good to see you, John. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Yeah, no, Wales, what a fucking place. Oh my God, it's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Let me see here now. Welsh Rarebit was lovely. I got it with the leek and everything. It was gorgeous. Oh, okay. Yeah. Feel free to contact me with any further information that you may have. I say we got people looking into these things at the moment that quite a few people looking into these things. There's people looking into everything. New Zealand looks amazing. I never got out there when I was in Australia, but I worked with a lot of Kiwis. And they're awesome. Let me see here now. So does this mean Dan doesn't own a yacht? He didn't say he owned a fucking yacht, did he? God almighty, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, especially like a naval veteran, operating in a landlocked country. Cool. Cool fucking story, bruh. Alrighty. What the hell? Welsh news now and later. Be right back. Have to talk to my FBI contact. So that's the end of his fucking disaster video. Jesus, Murphy, man. Like, you couldn't have done worse if you tried. You really couldn't have done worse if you tried. That was such a stupid thing to do. You should have shut the fuck up ages ago. Frankly, if it was me, I would have just fucked off. I would have just disappeared. I'd be like, fuck this. I don't need this heat. But no, his ego is too big. And he thinks, just talk my way out of it. Come on, man. Look at your fucking talking to now. Sarah Marie. Apparently, I've been pronouncing everything wrong. And I do apologize. I fucking, you know what? I even asked. Oh, no, I can't say that. I cannot say that. Nearly got myself in trouble there. I asked the lady earlier today. I asked the lady earlier today how to pronounce some stuff. I really did try. I'm still getting stuck with like Aberfrau and Amloch and fucking Kimbru. I don't know. It's really confusing. Why not fly around a car? So flying, no problem. I live an hour from the airport. 40 euro flight. Flight takes an hour. Land in Manchester, drive down. Problem is, to get a rental car, I have to have a credit card. I have a debit card, obviously, but I have to put a hold on it, and I'm not putting a 1,500 euro hold on a card. Fuck that. That's way too much for me to have tied up at this moment in time. Meredith may need to move. So yeah, ultimately, if I wanted to go that way, it is actually still cheaper for me to just go and bring my own car. But and it gives me that freedom as well. So I don't understand how people like that have big egos. Oh, he's got a big ego, all right. It's the only thing big from what I can do. Anyway, so went on to Facebook under an assumed name. Oh, fuck then. I told you. I fucking warned you. I said it to you last night. Why didn't you listen to me? So I went on to Facebook under an assumed name. Went on to all of the Amlook, which Amlook, which is the town he's originally from. Went on to a load of his a load of that town's like community pages. Like, does anybody recognize this guy? He came and bought something from my house and he accidentally left his wallet behind. I know his name is Dan, but I don't know anymore. Apparently, he was a Navy veteran. Anyway, so got a comment on that. Let me just see if I can get to the right one. I have a heap of different things here. Aw, that's a cute fucking dog, man. Damn it. I thought I saved it. I must not have. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So got a comment in response from this guy, James Lemon, saying, that's my brother. And he's basically a fucking liar. So hold on there now. Let me just I'll just read it out to you. It's immaterial really, but so yeah, I said, is there anyone who knows this man, etc., etc.? He commented, he's my stepbrother, one of the biggest liars I've ever met. He's never been in the Navy at all. Bearing in mind that I also had this confirmed from other members of his family before, but here we have it in writing. So anyway, I just sent him a message explaining who I was. and the kind of shit that he's been up to, right? So you all know that. So this was the first response I got back from his brother. He says, honestly, mate, he's an absolute twat. We've given him chances galore. He spent years not talking to the family, then worked his way back in, and we all gave him the benefit of the doubt. And he did the same. He did the same after a few years. He's done the dirty on his mom. His dad gave him money that was going to be repaid, never was. Surprise, surprise. His brother hates him. He's an absolute crook. Don't even think his son talks to him. He robbed donations from the food bank in Alnwick. I'm actually ashamed to say I'm related to him. I'm convinced he makes up stuff in his head and then genuinely believes his own lies. So then he shared a link, the one that you've all seen, the infamous one. That's the news article about what he did. And then he shared a screenshot of Dan's Facebook, his original Facebook, which I found a while back, saying that's his Facebook. And I said, I really want to put an end to all of this. He's trying to take me down, which he is, and he's actively destroying his own community in Aberfrow. He says, I don't condone this behavior. He says he needs a good kicking, to be honest. I said I did a live stream at his house, and last night responding to his claims, I'll send you the links right away. So I sent him the links. And he sent this to show, there's his original Facebook from back 2016. Tagged a whole load of people. So like you can see that he was basically just showing to prove that, you know, he is who he says he is. So then I sent the links. He says, here, just in case you think I might be lying, this is an old tag he tagged me in. Lol. Lol indeed. I said, oh, I've seen all of that. Been deep diving into him for a while. I asked his Ems Williams, his girlfriend. He says, not a clue, to be honest. He was married, but she died a few years back, which is terribly sad. That's the last time his dad had any contact with him, just to let him know. I'll certainly watch your videos and will let his dad see them too. He had a house in Madden, in Alnwick, and he got kicked out. Landlord was a really nice bloke, and he trashed the house before moving out and shit on the floor. The lot. He's a horrible cunt, to be honest. So he took a dump on the floor of his house to get back at his landlord for booting him out for being a dirty fuck. Anyway, so I said that I did know about his wife, which is true, and that's terribly sad, and I'm sorry to hear it, genuinely. He said vile things about my fiance, which I found out today, and he took all of my strength, and I'm not going to read that part out because that's not very nice, and I shouldn't be mean. But you get a bloke angry, what are you going to do? Then he says, yeah, his dad's a great bloke, likes his steam trains, and it keeps him occupied since my mom died. He cared for her for 3 years. Last time I saw Dan was probably about 2017 in the family kitchen. He didn't say a word to him. And I didn't say a word to him. I was on the dole at the time. He employed me. I said from the start it was bullshit, but gave him the benefit of the doubt. He even told me he'd been to the job center and arranged 2 appearances to come, and I was going to be the manager. Obviously, they never turned up. I had a job center interview and mentioned it. Where is it? And they knew nothing of it. Pissed me off as I had to sign as being employed, so got no money and had kids to feed and didn't get paid by him either. Or where have we heard that kind of stuff before? Anybody? So he's saying worse than I thought, but yeah, I wouldn't put any of that past him. I'll probably be going to see his dad tomorrow night. I'm happy to let him know all about this. I'll ask if he's willing to meet you if you like. I'm not sure what we can do, but it might give you something, or at least past stories. So there's more to come. I said, I can tell you now, mate, even if I can repeat these messages on a live stream alone, it'll be a massive help. Or if any of you be willing to come on a live stream or do a video chatting with me, I'd be able to put a stop to all of this nonsense once and for all. And I believe that for most people, that would be proof enough. There was a situation where he denied it. Now, okay, I wasn't going to bring this up. I will just say this part. I have obviously the receipts of being told this. I would just like to clarify there is no direct evidence of this. So this is just something that I was told, and I wanted to kind of say that to his brother to see if it was something that he was aware of. So I said there was a situation where he denied a woman in the food bank food because she turned down his advances. All the women I spoke to in Aberfroud said that they thought he was a total creep. That's absolutely true. So I was told that story. Yeah, I'm not 100% of the veracity of it. I don't know that there's a way to prove it. I'm just saying that's one of many stories that I was told. Wanted to see if his brother would be able to confirm it. So he said, you can certainly mention all this on a live or video by all means. I will certainly ask his dad if he would be willing to do a live or a chat with you and let you know. I'll show him your YouTube and he can watch them. It's unbelievable what he's doing, but totally believe if you know him. It's horrible to say I'm related to him. And I said, look, at the end of the day, you can pick your friends, but not your family. His dad seems like an absolute gentleman, and everyone I spoke to mentioned him, and your mom did so very fondly, and that's absolutely true. And I was explaining, you know, I can be a little bit abrasive. So if you're showing your elderly father my videos, you might think I'm a bit of a prick, but I'm actually kind of nice. So he says, I watched one where you went to that mansion. Did he tell people he lived there? I said, he made a huge deal of it. I spoke to a criminologist. This is true. I spoke to a criminologist yesterday about it. And she said it's likely so that he can make himself seem like he's loaded with money. And then people wouldn't question why he'd skim a measly few grand off the top. So if you're a multimillionaire, why would you bother stealing a couple of grand? And then nobody questions where the money's actually gone. And he has a private jet. He says, yeah, it makes sense, but I can tell you he's never owned a place in his life, never been in the Navy, medically wouldn't get in. And it's not the first time he's stolen his dad's life history. Apart from being a counselor, don't know how he even managed that. He wasn't elected. He just ran for a seat where there was no actual election because there was 5 seats and only 5 people went for the job. I can't even recall him having a job. For fuck's sake, a private jet. He couldn't even build an Airfix model. Beautiful. And I said, ha, 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 ha. And just to add insult to injury, his ex-girlfriend says he has a tiny willy. And she actually did say that. If there's anyone else in the family, and then I just gave the email address, and that I have Instagram if that was easier. He said, I'll ask them, but not sure they'd have anything extra to add. I'll see his dad tomorrow, and then he can speak with, excuse me. He can speak with Dan's brother, Robin, who might also help out. He lives away, but comes up here regular and might make the journey. So it might even be worth the journey to come up and deal with this. That'd be amazing. And then he says, when I saw his ugly mug, I thought, oh, what's he been up to now? I hope you get it sorted and can put him behind bars. Uh-oh, Spadanio. What are you going to do now? Arthur for £2 says, enjoyed talking with you about this in Discord. Yeah, absolutely. You too, my friend. Great to see you. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. It doesn't look too good, does it? What you going to do now? See, this is what I'm talking about, Dan. You thought I was full of shit. You thought that I blew all my hot load by knocking on your front door. But that was just the start of it, wasn't it? The very fucking start of it. And we're still really, really, really far down the line. We still have a lot more to go. Yeah. So what do you guys think about all of that in the side chat? Let me ask the side chat this, okay? There's 400 of you watching. 404 normal people and 1 Dan. I want to know, is there anybody watching right now? And you can be honest about this. There'd be no judgment. Is there anybody watching right now who, before I just read that out, would have considered themselves maybe leaning towards believing Dan and now have changed their mind? I'd just be really interested to see. Because if after that, you don't kind of think, oh shit, maybe he is a piece of shit, then you might just have to stand by for the rest of the stuff that's coming. I'm gonna get back on a plane or on a ship and literally go to fucking Wales again. Fiverr, thank you so much for $2. Says Gia still believes Dan. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I at this moment in time, I wouldn't be putting words in anybody's mouth personally. I think, you know what? That's the most disappointing thing here. Malehu says, I honestly just want to hear an actual defense from Dan. You know, I completely agree with you there. I gave him this opportunity. I did it privately as well. I was like, dude, all you got to do is just come out, be honest, man. Just be honest, get it over and done with. Same opportunity that I gave Bandy, and he couldn't do it. He thought, you know what? I'm going to call Irish Demons bluff. Wasn't bluffing. Was not bluffing. Simon Ross says, I enjoyed Welsh News Network and honestly still hoped this might be an elaborate troll, but that's pretty damning. It is. And you know what, Simon, I appreciate your honesty. I know that's not easy for people to say. Yeah, it's not easy. And I know it's rough for people to have to deal with. But I say, in terms of evidence and the amount of stuff that we have, it is literally the tip of the iceberg. Myself and Johnny are sitting on a colossal pile of shit right now, and it's not because I ate too many bran flakes. We have lots and lots, like jelly tots, and as you can see, when the goods come, they come hard. Simone, good to see you. Simone says, I unsubbed to Dan and left his server after the shiz video. It was unnecessary, mean-spirited, and misinformed. So I spoke to people today that Dan probably wouldn't have thought would maybe speak to me. But enough on that for now. And that's part of his MO. That's part of his MO. He will find somebody that he sees as a bit of a threat, and then he will go absolutely off on them. And again, this isn't to blow smoke up my own ass, and I don't want it to be taken that way. Shiz is always fighting with someone. That's her thing, and that's fine, right? There's always somebody blaming her for some shit. So people are used to that, right? So if he did it, people wouldn't go as hard on him. He was afraid to come after me. He kind of had a couple of little digs at me. He did a lot of nasty shit in the background to me that I left slide because I knew the day was coming, and the day was coming hard. I knew it was coming, that I would fucking finally get him. And am I being smug right now? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Am I going to be petty about all of this? Absolutely. Yes, I am. I'm going to be petty and smug about this whole fucking thing. Oh, fuck me. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. All that money Dan wasted on subs. I wouldn't say that now. I wouldn't say that now. Yeah, Floby, that's been dealt with. That has been dealt with today. I had a phone call. Well, actually, I had a message first, and I sent them my phone number, and they rang me to ask me what had happened. Someone in the authorities related to that kind of thing with that particular property contacted me, and yeah, that's being dealt with, basically. Sorry, like I mean, I don't know what to say. I fucking warned you. I warned you. I told you that if you just pushed and pushed and pushed and then try to throw shade at me and others in your defense, this is going to happen. And this is exactly what happened. You forced my hand. I told you that in a message earlier. You forced my fucking hand, and here I am. Anyway, Dan's son. Jesus Christ. God, how are you people so fast, man? Oh, I just saw the rainbow as well. That's nasty as hell. Oh my God. People, can I just say though, if there is any of that doxing shit going on, please fucking stop. Please. For the love of God. It's not cool. I don't buy it for a fucking minute. It was this stereotypical. I'm sorry, it is fucking gone 4 o'clock in the morning. It's one of those like, oh no, they did that. Now I'm not answering questions. Come on. Let's be real. We all know what happened there. It says, I wasn't doxxed and I don't care. Ah, I know who that is. I know who that is. Nicely done. Nicely done. Very clever. PhD Tony. Never heard of him. Says, I always found Welsh News Network a little disquieting. Though he seemed enthusiastic to win our acquaintance and approval. Absolutely. Any chance he got. Like when myself and who was it? Myself and Shiz. I can't remember who else was on that panel on Uncle Artie. When we were talking about the Miss Mandy thing. And next thing I see Dan popping up in the corner. I'm like, oh, there you are, aren't you? Huh? You know those little tiny fish that follow around sharks looking for the fucking scraps? And they kind of look like a shark, but everybody knows they're not. That's Dan. And then he starts dumping all that shit on Mandy while the going's good to try and push it away from himself. And I remember sitting there watching that, and you just see Shiz's face go, oh, for fuck's sake. And I was just like, oh no, this dickhead. But yeah, and I think a lot of that is like, you know, he loves to play off the whole clout of it, saying, you know, oh, myself and Irish team, and they're good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we're fucking good for now. Uh-huh. Outside, we're good. But as soon as we go back in, we both know. We both know, motherfucker. But he was afraid to say anything about me because I think he was afraid that maybe not necessarily that I know anything, but as soon as you give me a nugget, I come hard. That's it. You give me a nugget, I come hard. That's why I get kicked out of McDonald's all the time. Sammy Girl says, please stop talking about things coming hard. I'm getting excited. I've actually got something for that. There's a new medication. What's it called? It's called tricoxagon. No, it must be all out. Demon Sister for $5 says it might be helpful for you to explain what Dan has done to you, Mrs. Demon, specifically. Oh, I tell you what, I will cover that another time. There's a very specific reason for that. There's a very specific reason for that, and Johnny O knows what I'm talking about. I really want to fucking say it, but anyway, I promised I wouldn't. I promised I would behave myself. Like when you give me something like this, and then I start finding shit out all on my lonesome, I have to be like, oh my God, I gotta fuck no, I'm gonna ask Johnny first. Even if it's stuff that I know he's cool with, I'm like, gonna ask him first because he's the voice of fucking reason. And he tells me like he'll give me like 10 things. He'll be like, okay, man, that was good, Johnny O. Okay, man, we need to do this and this and this because otherwise all these things will happen. But he gives me about 10 of those kind of pieces of advice, knowing full well that I'll follow 8 of them. I'll take him to the fucking grave. But 2 of them at least are going to get fucked up. I think that's the risk he takes. And I said it to him. I was like, if you're telling me this, I need a certain level of freedom, but I will come back to you with everything. I might fuck it up though, but I will try not to fuck it up at every turn. And we are a good team. There has to be that little bit of like, you know, well, I think we should hold back and maybe, you know, plan this out. And he's fucking great at that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Doop, boop, 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 boop. All right, bitch. Tell me what happened. You know what I mean? Like that's how we work so well, to be quite honest with you. And Chloe always fucking sides with him. Anyway, Sandy D for $5 says, careful, last time you dealt with authorities, you got your phone and computer. That is very true. This is different though. I hope the fuck his doesn't get taken. Ooh. Let me see anything else. I'm just seeing if there's any questions or Stop coming hard at McDonald's. Yeah. Oh, you know that's not the first time. You know that's not the first time. But anyway, yeah, we are coming up. We're just gone over the hour mark now, and it is 4:20 a.m. You know what to do. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back out there in the next few days, and yeah, I'll hear back from his brother or brothers tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do right now, Dan, you've seen about. If I was to put a number on it, you've seen about 15% of what we have. And this is already bad. And I give you every opportunity. Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you fucking will. Danny boy. I gave you every opportunity. Every opportunity. And then you pissed on my shoulder and told me it was raining. Do you know what I'm saying? And now look. We're in this situation. But yeah, you're looking at about 15% at the moment of what we have, and the other stuff is fucking devastating. Now, there was a whole heap of shit that was brought to me by different individuals, a whole heap of shit that is all great gossip, don't get me wrong, and funny as fuck to listen to and see. Dan, don't be sending pictures to people. It's not a good idea. It's not a fucking good idea. Anyway, and don't be threatening people, not on text. Do it in person. If you have to do it in person. Just say it. Like, hey, can you just check the time for me there? And then they pull their phone out so you can see that they're not recording. Fucking listen here, bitch. See what I mean? You have to think. Think ahead. I always think ahead. And then when I come hard. Anyway. Oh, Big Daddy, you missed a lot of shit. This has been a long time coming and coming hard. Oh, God. Why would he claim to live in a castle? I do not know. I don't live in a castle. I live feet from one. Actually, technically, we're kind of surrounded by the old castle wall. It's a hard thing to explain. Why would you pick a castle that's nameable and completely verifiable as well? Why, like, what were you thinking? It's like what Dan's brother said to me earlier. I think he actually does believe some of his own bullshit, to be quite honest with you. Like, so much shit comes out of his mouth that his ass is jealous. You know what I mean? And I will stop smoking on stream. It's just because it's literally fucking... It's the how to theoretically do that if that's what you were trying to do, but clearly not. Yeah, no, absolutely. I get it. Every man's home is his castle, yada, yada, yada. But not every man's home is the Palace of Versailles of fucking Great Britain. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Don't stop smoking. Nobody likes a quitter. But yeah, so like, I don't know why the fuck he claimed you lived in that castle. That to me is bizarre. I just, even his brother was like, what? Why the fuck would he say that? See here now, anything else? Yeah, they claim they're veterans. My view, I think part of it is to just look cool because he's just not a fucking cool person. I agree, Lolly 77. I'm going to cut down big time. But I think a lot of why he does it is to look cool because he's just not a very interesting, cool person, not very charismatic. Good to see a girl dad cooking up deliciousness. Guys, check that channel out. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, we know who they are. Like, that's the fucking thing. Sparks up. It's medicinal. It's medicinal tobacco, man. So anyway, yeah, fucking I'm gonna put this out to you right now. Dan, because I know you're watching. Let's face it, we all know you're watching. I know more about you than you know about you. To be fucking quite honest with you. I know that you're not in bed yet. You're probably freaking out. I smoke Benson and Hedges Gold. And I'll put a link to my P.O. box down below so you can send me Benson and Hedges Gold any fucking time because they're really expensive here. A fucking nearly €17 a box. It's nearly $20 a box. US. 38 maybe Australian. But anyway, yeah, so he uses that for legitimacy, to look cool, all that kind of shit. And then the other side of it is the whole fucking money thing. So he claims to be a millionaire. He claims to have this big house and everything. My view on that, my opinion on it is that he does that again to kind of look cool and interesting because he's just fucking not. And then, yeah, for one pack of smokes for 20 cigarettes. Yeah, basically tries to look cool. And then also, if he has loads of money, why would he need to skim off a couple of grand here and there? You just trust him, wouldn't you? So that's my view. That's why he does it. And he is like, he just lies nonstop. Like, he just lies nonstop. Yeah, he's committing fraud to get donations. And he's done this before and was convicted of it. So anyway. Right, I think we're coming to the end now. I'm fucking tired and it's 4:30 in the morning. Thanks so much, Elizabeth Schneider, to help with the travel fund back to Wales. Thank you so much indeed. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I see what you're saying there about the flat earth stuff. That's yeah, you know, it's the same shit over and over again, isn't it? It really, really is. And I remember Team Skeptic saying that before about flat earth, that he saw it coming with other things as well. He's like, eventually people are just gonna start turning on each other. And I hate that. I fucking hate that. But he forced our hands. We, like, Johnny, you're sitting there, you know what I'm talking about. We didn't want to have to do this. We genuinely didn't. I was happy being reasonable frenemies. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much to Brian Reed for the 10 Australian dollars. I really do appreciate that. And who sent the 20? Hold on there now. Joanne, thank you so much for the 18.98 Aussie dollars. Says, thank you for what you're doing to help keep us all safe from lying grifters. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And in his case, it's not even grifting. It's just straight up scamming. You're missing a part, bud. What am I missing? Bobby, I don't actually have Cash App. As far as I know, we can't get that here. I know they did a trial run, or at least they were talking about doing a trial run. What's the last half? Huh? I'm very confused. It's really late. I'm so confused. It's so late. Arthur for £5 says, see if it's on Smoke Kings. They have it where I get my pipe tobacco cheaper than in stores, even with delivery. I will definitely check that out. Thank you so much, man. Buzzerco, good to see you. I absolutely love it. Danger Aware. It's in the other room, and Chloe's probably in there asleep now, so it wouldn't be a good idea to go in there. But I'll pop that out for the stream. I got loads of the stuff in the box. Thank you so much indeed. Anyway, so I think we've just about covered everything for now. God damn, there's gonna be so much more. Oh god damn it, Mac Addicts. Like, what the fuck? You don't hear me talking like that. So anyway, right, let's get the fuck out of here. It's getting late. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will catch you all very, very soon, possibly from Wales. We don't know. We'll see. Have a good one, guys. Sláinte. Good night.